I'll say good morning, good afternoon, everybody that is listening. My name is Ajayi. I'm the Group CEO for Ecobank Transnational Incorporated based in Togo. I'm very delighted to have the opportunity to talk to you today on developments of fintech on the continent and the role that Ecobank is playing. Of course, what you guys are doing is very important for our continent and, quite honestly, very important for our world. In preparing for this address, I decided to check out formally what fintech is considered to be. And there's no easier place than to go to than Wikipedia. I wish this was available when I was much younger, doing various researches in school. It would have been easier than going to go through all the documents in the library. And they said that fintech is the new applications, processes, products, or business model in the financial services industry composed of one or more complementary financial services and provided as an end-to-end process via the internet. Fintech can also be considered any innovative idea that improves financial services processes by proposing technology solutions according to different business situations, where the ideas can also lead to a new business model or even new businesses. I also like what Investopedia said, that financial technology is used to describe new tech that seeks to improve and automate the delivery of use of financial services. As its core, fintech is utilized to help companies, business owners, and consumers better manage their financial operations, processes, and lives by utilizing specialized software and algorithms that are used on computers and increasingly smartphones. Fintech, the word, is a combination of financial and technology. It's also important to reflect on the broad role that banks perform for the economy. As I've seen some apprehension by bankers about the emergence of fintech as the force they are having in moving performance closer to what the economy needs by removing frictions in the process of delivering our mandate. With a nod to Merton, a bank should be defined by the mission that it performs for the economy. In this frame, a bank can be described as the most adequate, Pareto optimal coalition of individual agents able to perform three major intermediation functions. Liquidity intermediation, providing liquidity between the short and the end. Risk intermediation, by being able to assess which best part of the project that we should select and allocate resources and capital to. And information intermediation, by understanding the difference between the people that are sponsored for project and the people that are seeking to make money. So after getting preliminaries out of the way, let me also talk about how I came into contact with fintech and its impact, and begin with some story. I was working for another international bank in Nairobi in 2007, when mobile phone service provider Safaricom launched M-Pesa. At the time, less than a fifth of the adult population in Kenya held a bank account. In the previous decade, where there has been major drive by Kenya local banks, of which I was one of them, to expand their national footprint, the expansion was itself coming from a relatively low base. As multinational banks strong their branch network, one of which I was guilty of in the late 1990s, especially in rural areas that they deem the population unbankable, thanks to tiny rural economy that is characteristics of many African countries. As such, the launch of M-Pesa was nothing short of revolutionary at that time. Almost overnight, street traders, market women, farmers, students, MSMEs, and the entire spectrum of the unbanked and the banked were able to make payment fast and securely without going through the regular banking process. I'm particularly grateful to have been part of this situation. And the fact that they sound quite normal today attests to the success of fintech revolution over the years. For banks, that revolution was initially regarded as a threat. Not only were we willing to cut out from cash transactions and the generated revenues, but the regulators also appear unsure about the incursion of telcos in carrying out banking services. Despite this initial skepticism, a number of traditional banks adapted quickly to the new dispensation. As I will explain, in a continent where the vast majority were unbanked, the fintech revolution was nothing short of a boom for all players in the African financial industry. Today, Africa leads the world in mobile banking. When I joined Ecobank at the height of fintech revolution in 2015, I already held the view that the future of banking lay in view banks as tech companies with banking licenses. We therefore embarked on a clear and deliberate transformation journey to be the bank of the future. Ecobank today is recognized in the way we approach technology as a means of delivering financial services. The initial reaction was that fintech are rivals to banks rather than potential partners. And with the regulatory environment slow to catch up, uneven as fintech proved incredibly versatile in providing solutions to vast swath of the unbanked and unbankable, where the mobile phone and the notion of fintech as competitors on the financial services landscape only deepened. Having disrupted the regulatory environment, it soon became clear both to the telcos and the fintech that it was impossible not to include traditional banks in the equation because they're the route to the liquidity. With fintech, collaboration was far more profitable than competition. For reasons that we'll get to shortly, establishing symbiotic relationship with fintech was not only good for the bank, but it was also even better for fintechs. Most crucially, collaboration and co-deployment creates new synergies that vastly improve client services and efficiencies. Fintechs now constitute 40% of overall startup investments in Africa. If fintechs have replaced traditional banks in areas, both geographically and sectorally, where we were either no presence or from where we've retreated, fintech in turn needs traditional banks for a variety of reasons. The traditional bank offers the startup the assurance of a solid banking partner, the experience to navigate across complex regulatory and risk environment, and of course, a level of scale, often across multiple territories that the fintech would ordinarily not have access to. For those who are partnered with Ecobank, they will see that you connect to Ecobank in one country. You automatically have access to 34 banking countries. As disruptors, fintechs may have many advantages. They are agile, can choose which market or niche to target, have rapid speed to market, and can distribute seamlessly through mobile or internet, and not encumbered by the costly branch network or legacy IT infrastructure. From the early days of the fintech revolution, our collaboration with our continent-wide fintech network gave us new ways to make payments, offer innovative credit facilities, and increase our financial services repertoire to the unbanked. In this way, we have deepened relationship with SMEs and women-owned enterprise and the youth. Through our FinTech Challenge and Fellowship Program established in 2017, the Ecobank Group has been working with fintech startups across 33 countries on the continent in which we operate. These partnerships are giving us a solid foundation on which to drive development of digital banking products and services and solutions to the retail, commercial, corporate, and public sector via Ecobank mobile app EcoBank Online, OmniLite, OmniPlus platforms, just to talk about specific products. The relevance of African financial services digital capabilities have been brought sharply into focus by the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic, ironically, has accelerated that in the face of lockdown and socio-economic disruptions, we provided the full range of our services on digital platforms, demonstrating that digital products and platforms provide. For instance, we witnessed accelerated growth in our digital channels for the period ended 2021 June. The volume of transactions rising by 88%. The volume of EcoBank Online transactions rising by 128%. And in our commercial and corporate also rising along the same line. The traditional banking landscape is changing, and this means that the bank of the future requires fundamental shifts from the traditional banking mindset to a digital one, from brick to clicks, if you like. As an integral extension of this, we recognize the need to embrace fintechs as potential partners rather than regard them as foes. Fintechs are key partners in driving innovation and agility. And having spent the last few years working closely with them, EcoBank is well on its journey to becoming the reference bank for partnership and further development of fintechs on the continent. In addition to our annual FinTech Challenge, we also support fintechs through our Pan-Africa Banking Sandbox, which we launched in August 2020. The sandbox enables fintechs to have access to application programming interface for the development of innovative solutions. Currently, there are 454 developers with access to our sandbox, with more than 20 fintechs currently in the process of going live. Tech companies have the ability and can access the capital to offer services of banks with their digital banking or digital-only banking apps. As digital banking becomes increasingly important, the EcoBank Group has joined the growing number of banks, card companies, and payment service providers around the world using developers and the successful fintech company across Africa and West Africa to enhance our customer service. Samoa recently launched, in partnership with EcoBank Group, a new digital banking service via WhatsApp, enabling customers to do their banking faster and easier. This development using the API allows banks to talk to each other through creating next generation digital customer experience, further reinforcing the EcoBank Group, as one of the innovative leaders that is ready for open banking in Africa. By leveraging this technology, we continue to be the bridge between the digital and cash economy, and also allow unbanked merchants and traders to accept and make digital payment, providing financial inclusion and control over their banking needs. There's so many other companies that I can go through as an example, but I'd rather not do that because given the limited time I have, it's important for us to know in the wake of the African Continental Free Trade Area, we have a vast opportunity to make a difference. And if we can come together, both the banks, the fintech companies, and others, we have an opportunity to solve the right problem. We've deployed our big data, Internet of Things, and AI in terms of the way we've decided to work as a company. Our journey to big data analytics began 5 years ago, and as a result of our digitalization focus, we've made strategic investment and partnership with various organizations, whether it is Oracle, it's Microsoft, it's IBM, to make sure we are in a position to get our enterprise data into a lake that we can tap for the purpose of providing, not only using those data, but taking data to information and drawing insight in that in the way we manage our business. We've developed our own capabilities as well internally to make sure that while we work in partnership, we also have competencies that is developed internally. from using IBM Watson to also developing Rafiki, which means my friend in Swahili. We are able to integrate all of this in providing services to our customers. We also understand that the future of banking and all services and almost everything also has to be the infusion of technology to process the things that can be done by technology and also allow human beings to continue to do the things they can do. So the importance of robotic process automation in the way we work today and in the future is going to be very clear. Ecobank Group will continue to embrace innovation and partnership that will lead to strong and sustainable economic development for their continent, Africa. This remains our commitment. We have the platform and the unparalleled footprint in Africa, and I'm happy to use this to enable fintechs to achieve scale and all of you to maximize value for fellow Africans. The question we need to answer is not a competition between fintech firms and other financial services industry, but how can we improve the coalition between the two and many to meet the financial needs of our society in the most optimal way? While fintech and all of you have done a lot in the payment and information space, we need to improve other forms of intermediation to remove the binding constraint for wealth creation for our society. It's our responsibility to stop the dialogue of poverty alleviation or poverty reduction and orient the dialogue towards wealth creation. For us to get this done, we all need that coalition that can't waste valuable time on tough protection. I thank you all, and I wish you an insightful and successful festival. Thank you so much. If there's time, I can take questions.